Good morning, fellow aviators. Taylor Shabrick down here in Tampa again. We're going to be briefing an instrument approach and seeing that the approach minimums listed for both an ILS approach with a DA of 200 feet and a localizer approach with an MDA of 500 feet. Now, if you're anything like me, could be way behind. Been doing a lot of my approaches in my Microsoft Flight Simulator, just between life and school and everything, falling pretty far behind. So, with that being said, hopefully no one else is dealing with that. So, here it goes. On an ILS approach, the chart may show a decision altitude, a DA, such as 200 feet. Your DA is used on approaches with vertical guidance. The pilot continues descending on the glide path to that altitude, and at DA must decide whether to land or execute a misapproach if the required visual references are not in sight. On a localizer approach, or localizer only approach rather, the chart may show a minimum descent altitude MDA such as 500 feet. The MDA is used on approaches without approach vertical guidance. The pilot may descend to that altitude but level off and remain there until the runway environment is visible and the requirements of the FARS 91-175 are met, or until reaching the missed approach point. The key difference is that a DA is a decision point on a continuous descent, while an MDA is a hard floor that cannot be descended below without the required visual references and visibility. Approaches that use DA include your precision approaches such as ILS, GLS, LPV, and typically LNAV, VNAV approaches that use the MDA include localizer only, such as non-precision approaches, VOR, NDB, and LNAV only approaches. Treating an MDA like a DA is dangerous because descending below MDA without visual references increases the risk of controlled flight into terrain CFIT, violating FARS 91-175. It also creates both legal and safety consequences. An MDA approach requires leveling off because there is no approved electronic glide slope for the aircraft to go all the way down. A DA approach does not require level off because the aircraft follows vertical guidance to the DA, the decision altitude. For my biblical interpretation, recollection, I chose Proverbs 4 verse 26, says, "Give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways." In aviation, that can mean following published minimums with discipline, wisdom, and caution, respecting DA and MDA minimums, reflecting sound judgment and responsibility. Short, quick, to the point. Looking forward to hearing everyone else's videos and seeing the responses as well. Have a great week. Thanks, guys and gals.